Good morning. I'd like to invite all of our Sunday school children forward for a very special children's sermon. Last week we talked a lot about education and the importance of education and thinking about our spiritual life like a form of education. And one of the most important parts about learning is being able to then turn around and teach, right? And so one of the things that we do here at St. Nicholas is called the Oratorical Festival. And this morning, our very own George Marmaros will be giving his oratorical speech. So he went out to Pittsburgh and represented our church, and he gave a speech that he's now going to share with us. But I want you children in the front to pay attention. The skills that it takes to be able to speak in public are very important skills. So look at how he does it, okay? Pay attention to not only the fact that he knows what he's about to say, but he'll be looking around, he'll be using his hands, and the stories that he'll be telling are great stories that you can relate to. So, George, let's turn your microphone on here on the inside. And what was your topic?
St. Nectarios, topic 1.
Wonderful. So, George Marmaros on St. Nectarios.
Reverend Fathers, ladies and gentlemen, Christos Anesti. As I close my eyes, I smell the fragrant incense in the small chapel of St. Nectarios in my parents' village in Greece. This beautiful chapel is a reminder of a wonderful saint who lived as a pious Orthodox Christian. The chapel is located in Figia, Lesbos, Greece, and it is next to my grandparents' house. Every day, I would go take care of the chapel. I would light the candles, clean the icons, and sweep the floors. I would find solace in the silence of prayer. The offspring of Celibria and the guardian of Aegina, the true friends of virtue who didst appear. This is part of the beautiful hymn of St. Nectarios. From a young age, St. Nectarios had a great love for the church. He was born on October 1st, 1846, in eastern Celibria of Thrace, now present-day Turkey. He was one of 6 children, and his parents were very poor but pious Christians. Early in his life, he had a strong desire to learn the church teachings, but he was too poor to continue with his studies. His family sent him at 14 to Constantinople to work in hopes to fulfill his dream of becoming a theologian. Nectarios was determined, and his will of loving God helped him. He became a monk, then a deacon, and in 1885 he was ordained a priest. For 1 year he was bishop of Cairo, but he was removed from his post and sent away from Egypt after false rumors were said about him. Back in Greece, though he initially struggled, he then became the director of the Rizarios Ecclesiastical School and later went on to establish the Holy Trinity Monastery in Aegina. The saint endured both injustices and honors in his life, but he remained humble and pious throughout it all. St. Nectarios is known for healing people with illnesses because he himself was diagnosed with cancer and later passed away from the troubles it gave him. An example of one of his miracles was when an African lady who had a son suffering from severe brain cancer visited his cell at his monastery in Aegina. As soon as she walked in, she took an awkward stop. The nuns were worried and offered her some holy water. She then explained she saw a man wearing green vestments who told her that her son who had cancer was going to be just fine and healthy. The nuns were shocked because St. Nectarios had these green vestments, but there was no way the woman could have known that. When she went back home, she called the monastery and informed them that her son was completely fine and healthy. St. Nectarios is also a great helper and supporter of teenagers and students. He called them the successor generation and knew the struggles that teenagers dealt with. St. Nectarios recommended for teenagers to read the Holy Scripture and stay with Christ during difficult times. In his 15 years as the director of the Rizarios School, he helped many students and set an example of sacrifice and humility. St. Nectarios' exemplary life influences many followers, and I respect and admire his love for the Lord. My family has turned to St. Nectarios in times of need. When both my grandfathers were diagnosed with cancer, we prayed to St. Nectarios for their healing. I also feel that by praying to the saint, he was always keeping me safe and helping me with my daily struggles. St. Nectarios intervenes with my academic performance and guides me on the correct path. When I chant the beautiful hymn of St. Nectarios in the Agni Parthene, which he wrote, I feel a closeness and a connection to the saint and my Orthodox faith. I look forward to going back to Greece and taking care of the small chapel next to our house. I'm thankful that we have the honor of our own St. Nectarios Chapel in my home parish in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and I can pray there. St. Ignatius is a good example to all of us to remain humble and trust in God through all our earthly hardships in life. Thank you.